Here is a quick video guide on how to utilize the formulation calculator. Upon purchasing the calculator, you would have received a download link in your email. Once you have clicked that, it will take you to this page, this PDF, and this PDF has the two most important links that you're gonna need in order to start using your formulation calculator. It's a download calculator link and the instruction guide, which is this video. Once you click on the download calculator file, it will take you to this page where it will prompt you to use the calculator as a template. Once you get to this page, you're gonna click Use Template, and it will automatically create a copy of this particular calculator in your Google Drive. Now, Google Sheets is a free and easy to use spreadsheet software. It is all based in the cloud, and it is very simple to actually utilize this particular calculator. Once you have created your own copy, I generally recommend that you change the name of the file just to represent either the product that you're gonna be working on or your business or brand name. That way it's easy for you to find it. As you utilize this calculator for more and more products, it can get a little bit cumbersome. So it's important that you're saving it in a way that you can easily search in Google Drive to find it. So for example, I will call mine Soothing Body Butter, as it will be the example that I will use for this particular instruction. So the start here guide, I generally recommend you have a quick read through. It basically walks you through step by step how to utilize the calculator. It also has embedded to it this instruction guide, just in case you get caught up somewhere or stuck somewhere. You can be linked back to this instruction video, as well as you can reach out to us via email. So that will take you to our contact us page. You can fill out the information if you have a question, and then you can I will get it and I will respond to you directly. Or you can post a question in our Facebook group that is also on the downloadable PDF that you would have gotten in your email. Okay, so let's use an example. There are 3 tabs. One that allows you to only do calculations for 1 formulation, one for 2, and another one for 3. Let us say hypothetically that you want to tweak a specific ingredient in a formulation to create 3 different products or 3 different prototypes. This sheet would be the most relevant for you. But it's totally up to you if you prefer to just use every formulation is on its own page. You're free to do that, but I've given you some options in case you want to put multiple formulations on one particular spreadsheet. I also recommend that you change the name here. So I would call this body butter, and I'll probably give it some other code just so that I know. So let's say this is the first prototype. I'll call that prototype 1, and then if I'm going to do another prototype and call it prototype 2, I can always duplicate the page and call it P2, just so that it's easy for me to reference it or use a date or use a special code. It's really up to you to decide. So let's go ahead and start coming up with an example. So let's call this Soothing Body Butter. So that's the name of my product. Always put a date. Dates are very important as you do your lab-based activities, and then come up with a formulation code. That code you can there are different ways that you can code either your formulation or your batches, but for this example I'll just use Soothing Body Butter, and I'll call it P1 for prototype 1, just as an example. If you're sending products out to market, so if you're calculating these for products that you are selling, it is very important that you assign a batch code. Okay, so I'm just using body butter. I'm putting the date, and then I'm saying this is my 100th batch, just as an example. And then the batch size. So if you're doing small amounts, small volumes, then 100 grams, 500 grams, it doesn't matter. And as an industry best practice, formulations should be done in grams and not in drops or cups or kind of these random quantities. It's always done in mass, in grams. If you are a soaper, you may be using ounces. That might be fine, but it's just very important that you're standardizing your your units right across all the ingredients. And the great thing about this calculator is that, as we all know, formulations require a lot of math, and it is a math that can be very complex and very tedious, and also potentially lead to human error. So these gray cells are automatically calculated for you based on your actual formulation. So let's say you found a formulation online and you want to test it, or you've purchased a formulation, or you've done your own development based on your research or your training, or you're doing a batch, you're actually manufacturing and you have a master formulation. You're going to put that information here. So this is just my example just for this instruction guide. So you have to put your phases in. So I'm doing shea butter at 68%. And then you see it automatically calculates the mass based on the batch size. Okay, so if it's 100 grams, because I'm just doing a small quantity for testing, that's 68 grams that I will require of shea butter. Then let's do the other ingredients. Sunflower oil at 9%. And then phase B, lemon essential oil, 1%, vitamin E oil at 1%, and then phase C, arrowroot powder at 2%. Now, it is important that you check through your formulation to ensure that the calculations are right. Garbage in, garbage out. So if we put in incorrect information, it will spit out incorrect information. What exactly do you need to be checking? You need to check that your percentage weight always comes up to 100%. It should never come up to 100.1. It should never come up to 98.2. It should always be 100% flat. Okay, if you are seeing any variations of that, it means that your concentrations, your relative concentrations, are not accurate, and you will have to change that. So let's say hypothetically that I accidentally put 7 instead of 9 for sunflower oil. You will see that the percentage is 98, and that is telling you that there's a 2% that you're not factoring in, and you're gonna need to do that. Similarly, you need to check that your total mass is equal to your batch size. So right now the total mass is 98, but you want to make a batch size of 100 grams. It's telling you that there is 2 grams that have not been accounted for, and of course that is because of the issue with sunflower oil. Once we adjust that, our percentage weight by weight total and our percentage or mass total should now be at 100. If we're doing a larger size, so let's say we're doing several units to send out and we want to do 200 grams or 2000 grams, it will automatically calculate the total mass that you need. So there's no need for you to get your calculator or your phone. It will automatically calculate the total mass required. Similarly, your percentage weight by weight total should be 100%, and your total mass should be equal to your batch size. Okay. So we are good, and it doesn't matter what number you put here, it will automatically calculate that for you. Okay, what may make sense when you get to larger quantities like this, so if you're dealing with kilograms, for example, you can change that, and then you can change your kilograms. So it's 100 kilograms that you're making, so you're gonna need 68 kilograms of shea butter, 68 kilograms of coconut oil, 9 kilograms of sunflower oil, 1 kilogram of essential oil, etc. And then you can use this to help you with inventory. So you put together your record, your batch record. You have the quantities. You can then check inventory to see if you have all the materials that you need. If you don't have all the materials you need, then you need to purchase that stock inventory. Then you can go ahead and move on to your production. Now there are sections for your procedure. So if so I'm just gonna copy and paste the procedure for this, which I have. Let's just paste that there. It's very important that you put that in for all your records, so that when you're doing your production, you have that ready to go. And then you can put in, once you've done your batch, you're gonna put in your quality control parameters. This really should be defined during your R&D activities. So is it solid, liquid, gas, semi-solid, etc. Color, fragrance, viscosity, whatever the case is, texture, pH, well, this wouldn't be relevant here, but whatever the quality control parameters that you have, total aerobic plate count, so if you're doing your own internal microbiological studies, you put all that information in and you're gonna document your results. And what this does is that it provides you with actual quality control data that you can use to assess the quality and safety of your product. Then you can put whatever notes you wish. So let's say shea butter was cooled to room temperature instead of 40 degrees Celsius, just hypothetically speaking. You can put some notes in, just so at least you have a record of everything that you would have done. Okay, so another trick that I like to utilize sometimes, if you prefer not to carry your device to the lab bench or to your kitchen counter, wherever you're doing that, you can print this as a PDF, and you can have that on the kitchen counter, or you can save that. So to do that in Google Sheets, just select the areas that you'd like to have printed. Then you're gonna click download. I like to do a PDF, and then it's up to you. Just select the sheet type that you want. Ensure that you're clicking selected cells so that it doesn't print all the other additional things that you don't need. And then you can set the different orientations as you wish. Okay, and then you can export that as a PDF. And then there you go. That's easy for you to print and to utilize in your workshop. Okay, so that is how it is utilized. Very straightforward. Now again, if you want to tweak something, the easiest thing to do, there are one of two options. You may decide, okay, I'm going to, this formulation works, but maybe it was a little too viscous, it was a little too thick, so I want to adjust the viscosity a little bit, and I want to increase the amount of liquid oils. So let's go here. So we're pasting that. We're gonna put in our mass, so it does the calculation. So we're gonna do 100 grams. This is soothing body butter. We're now gonna do P2, because P1 we did, it was too thick. So we're now gonna adjust the liquid oils and see if that would improve the viscosity or reduce the viscosity. And let's call that P3. So this was P1. So we're gonna adjust these, right? Because it's now too thick. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna remove 2% of the shea butter. So let's do 1%. So we're gonna do 67 instead. And then we're going to add that 1% to the coconut oil. So now we have 100 grams. Our percentage is fine, so we know we're clear there. And then we're gonna do the same thing, except we are now going to, instead of adjusting the coconut oil, we're gonna adjust the shea butter. So we're gonna go back to 19 here and go to 10. So if you realize there are just slight variations here, right? But this is now easier for you to look at when you're doing your experimentation. Or if you're doing large batch sizes as an example, and you're doing two different products, only difference is the amount of it's the amount is it's a fragrance oil that's different, or the essential oil that's different. You can do the same thing here, right? So this one, the lemon essential oil, might be, may just put this blank lemon essential oil, or put lemon essential oil, and you can put, let's say it's lemon, and one is orange. Okay, so this would be lemon and this would be orange. Okay, and at least you have that documentation to show what is which formulation is for what particular product. All right, so if there are any questions or any issues, you can always reference this video guide again, or you can walk through the written instructions for you. Otherwise, you can reach out to us via our contact sheet on our website. Look forward to your feedback as well. All the best and good luck as you formulate and make amazing bath and beauty products.